Hi, so for my video, I will be talking about levels of measurement. So the first thing is, what are levels of measurement? This should be a recap for most of us. We've either taken a class here at Springfield or at another school, but most of this should be a review. At the beginning though, I wanted to see what the basic definition of the levels of measurement was, so I did a Google search and it resulted in this definition. Levels of measurement or scale of measure is a classification that describes the nature of information within the values assigned to the variables, and that did not sound like anything I'd heard before. So hopefully as we go through the rest of the slides, it'll break that down, but the rest of the slides should clear it up what the levels of measurements are. So our first one we're going to break down, there are 4 levels of measurement. The first is nominal level, the second is ordinal, third are interval, and the fourth is ratio. Each is made up of different components, but they build on each other as we progress through them. Nominal will be our lowest level of measurement, meaning that the requirements are minimal, while ratio is the highest level of measurement in that it is more complex than the other previous levels. So first off, what is nominal level? What is it made of? Nominal level is simply classified as categories or labels. Generally, they're common characteristics, so eye color or whatever gender you identify as. And because they are characteristics, there is no grading, ranking, or scale. So you cannot say one is better than the other. In addition to this, responses are mutually exclusive, so you can only be one or another. So for the example I have listed, you cannot be a police officer and an astronaut at the same time. According to whatever you're studying, you can only pick one. The second is the ordinal level. So like the nominal level, these are mutually exclusive, but in addition, we establish a rank or a value to the item being measured. However, despite there being a rank or order, there is no measurable distance between the units of measurement that we are looking at. So there's no meaningful distance between not at all or so stressed I'm going to cry. We can't tell how those are differed. We just know that there's a level that not at all is lower than so stressed I'm going to cry. The next one is interval level. So it continues to build on the previous levels of measurement we've looked at, but here we get to establish a known or meaningful distance between the items. This allows us to know exactly how far apart the items are from each other, but while this may be, there is no meaningful zero in that there's no absolute or true zero. So when you're measuring temperature, which I listed as the example, you can go below 0 degrees. So the 0 is not the stopping point for the measure. It does not signify the end of the measurement, but rather it can continue on. And our last level of measurement is ratio. This is our highest level of measurement, so it encompasses all of the qualities we've previously discussed, but it introduces a meaningful 0. So for example, I have a salary. So if I performed a study and I had a range of responses from anywhere from $20,000 to $350,000, I know the distance between each response because there's a standardized unit of measurement. In addition to that, there's order to my scale. So obviously those who are making $20,000 make much less than those who are reporting $350,000. And there's an introduction of the absolute or true 0. So you cannot make less than $0. The 0 marks the end of the ability to measure that. And the same thing goes for heart rate. So if my heart rate is at 0, then I'm dead. There's nothing else beyond that. The last slide is just a visual representation of the levels of measurement and the components that make up each one. As you can see, there's a steady introduction of new components from our lowest level being nominal to the highest level of ratio, and ratio encompasses all of them. Hopefully this has been a helpful recap and it clearly defined what levels of measurement are and that you know the different levels and what makes up the different levels. Thank you for watching.